In the city of Coquitlam, on a southern slope that overlooks the Coquitlam River, lies a secret garden that has grown for almost a century. It stands as a tribute to the healing power that a close relationship with the earth brings to the human psyche. The Riverview lands are valued by the city of Coquitlam and the community as the home of the province's primary mental health care facility, as a heritage site, and as a treasured botanical garden, arboretum, and sanctuary.
When I walk at Riverview, it has the sense of me as being a campus. It's a campus of care, but it has that sense of a place that's a little bit removed from the hustle and bustle in life, a site that has elegance and grace, and a site that also has secrets that reveal itself as you walk around. You can't see ever the whole site all at once, and as you walk around the site, you follow the curving paths, the stairways. It's always a site that I think delights and surprises you, because you never know quite what to anticipate.
There's just so many layers of history on the site, so many things that are so significant on the site in terms of that incredible over a century of use as a psychiatric facility, but also as a community.
In the early 1900s, the provincial government acquired 1,000 acres as the site of the future Hospital for the Mind at Mount Coquitlam. On this site, the provincial health minister at the time, Dr. Henry Essen Young, established what soon after became known as Essendale.
When they first put the hospital together, they knew the value of asylum, for all the meaning that it really meant, a place to be away from the world, to reconnect with nature, and to have a place to be at one with yourself. They planted the trees so that there would be a place to walk. They planted the garden so there would be a place if you wanted to grow things and be part of that.
That was considered to be, at the time, absolutely cutting-edge, progressive in terms of how the patients would be treated. The site was seen as a comprehensive treatment for mental health, that the patients would actually be involved in growing food, looking after the site, in really being given a purpose in life.
Essendale soon grew into a self-contained small town that prospered. In its peak period, Essendale cared for over 4,000 patients, and they, in turn, cared for the land. But Essendale was not only famous for the quality of its fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. Under the careful attention of the province's first botanist, John Davidson, it was home to Western Canada's first botanical garden.
He sent to all the school teachers around the province a letter saying, please send all the plants, and if you'll send them to us, we will find out the correct names, because of course often they didn't know what the plants were, and we will tell you what the correct name is. So on trains and on horse-drawn wagons, plants came from all over British Columbia, and he and his assistant planted them, wilted as they were after probably 6 weeks behind a horse, planted them and grew them.
Shortly afterwards, it was decided that the botanical garden should move. John Davidson and his assistants moved close to 26,000 plants in horse-drawn wagons from Coquitlam to Point Grey, the newly chosen site of the University of British Columbia.
But they left trees that were too big to move, and they also left a nursery operation at Riverview. And they grew trees, they grafted trees, they took seeds, they developed trees, they collected trees from all over the world now at this time, and they produced trees and shipped them out to government buildings all over British Columbia. The Victoria legislature buildings, research farms, government buildings, schools, street trees, many of the trees that you see planted around Vancouver and Victoria and probably elsewhere in British Columbia came from Riverview.
Essendale has been divided over time into the Riverview Forest Park and a large residential development on the uplands, the Riverview Hospital on the hillside, the Forensic Psychiatric Institute and Colony Farm Regional Park on the floodplain.
I think it's really important to have that quiet time, that downtime. We're so busy running to our jobs and our projects and our schools and our sports and go, but the times that I find I really enjoy with my kids are when we get out into our park areas and get the time to take a mosey through somewhere and notice the things that make living in BC wonderful.
The 244 acres that remain of the original 1,000 acres have matured into a cohesive and unique landscape. The Riverview lands merge a working psychiatric hospital with heritage buildings and a collection of almost 2,000 trees, some unique in Western Canada. This exceptional site has also attracted filmmakers from all over the world and is today considered the most filmed location in the country. And it is home to Finney's Garden, a beloved tribute to the healing powers of nature.
Heritage is really our common legacy. So when we look back to the history of Coquitlam, this is certainly one of the very significant things that happened within the city. And to me, it's an incredible legacy of what happened at the time. I consider it Coquitlam's best park.
You know, in our day now, we get so busy in our urban lives that we forget how intimately connected with nature humans are. And to be able to have a place to walk without being impeded by traffic, to breathe fresh air, to have sunshine, to have a place like that near to where these massive subdivision and housing developments are, it's a gem, and it should be preserved.